Look at this question and both of the parking signs. Both of these parking signs look exactly the same, and that is the reason why many people get confused between them. Therefore, the question arises to whether these two parking signs have the same meaning or do they have a different meaning. In this video, we'll talk exactly about this difference or similarity between these parking signs. So we'll talk and explain everything that is related to these two parking similar but different parking signs, and we'll also show with two different practical examples and relate to these signs and what are the meanings. Hello everyone and welcome to another interesting video with Key to DL. Let's look at the first parking sign, which consists of three panels: parking sign P, time panel, and the upkeep or fees panel. In the second one, there are two panels, parking sign and one additional panel with the same text as in the first one. So what is the difference? Or is it the same interpretation? My friends, there are completely different meanings to both the parking signs. And if you don't understand this concept, you'll always be wrong even if you get your driving license. Still, there is a chance you get parking ticket. So to save your parking ticket 500 crown each and every time, you need to understand the concept fully. Therefore, today's video is very important for your driving theory test, not only theory test, but also for rest of your driving, at least in Sweden or in whole Europe. Okay, let's take a look at the differences quickly. Let's start by looking at what is most important. One thing, the parking sign, which is very important. The extra panels only add information to the main parking sign, and according to the main parking sign, you can park for up to 24 hours on all days. The first one, or sign A, you can park up to 2 hours, but you must pay a parking fee within this time frame. So you can pay a fee here only between 8 am until 6 pm in the evening, and rest of the time is free of charge. However, you can park only for a maximum of 2 hours. So beyond 2 hours you cannot park in the first sign. So at a time you can maximum use 2 hours of time, or maximum parking time, allowed parking time is 2 hours. Therefore, each of these extra panels has its own effect on the parking signs. So one panel has effect independently to the parking sign and another panel effect independently to the parking sign. And that is how the 2-hour rule will work here for all 24 hours. In contrast, the second parking sign, or parking sign B, has all the information in one extra panel. As a result, all the information will be effective together to the main parking sign. Therefore, you can park for up to 2 hours with a fee from 8 am to 6 pm. However, there is no rule for either 2 hours or more after 18 or after 6 pm in the evening. Meaning, you can park until 10 am in the following morning. It is free until 6 am, and then there is a parking fee for an additional 2 hours. So the main difference between these two parking signs is that it is free after 6 pm in both cases. But in the first case, you can only park for maximum 2 hours at a time, no more than 2 hours, regardless of whether parking is charged or free. It is with a parking fee from 8 to 18 and without 18 to 8, but there is only a 2-hour limit in the first case. In other case, or in the second case, in this parking sign P, fees, time limit and all the restrictions happen during the hours from 8 to 18, because all these tags are written within the same bracket or same tags, after which it is free. Like parking is free, no time limit, fees is free until from 18 to 8. And also there are no 2 hours parking restriction until the next next day 6 until next 8 a.m. So that is the main difference. Alright, so now I have a question for you. What will happen if you want to park on the Sunday evening between 18 to 20? Could you tell me which one is free and which one isn't? Which one is free and which one is not free of charge? Alright, as we move forward, let's consider two practical examples from the Swedish driving point of view or Swedish driving license point of view, and understand the parking situation in each of them. To pass your driving theory and practical test in Sweden, you must understand the parking sign. There will definitely be questions on the parking in your driving theory test. Not only driving theory test, but also final road test. It is quite important. So let's have a look into the first example. Here if you see, there are 4 panels. One is parking sign, and another is time, 1 hour, 10 to 14, and then another sign is parking, upkeep, so fees is required, and another information, overik tid, and then another one, the white board with a black arrow sign, and that sign says that you can park only towards the left side from this sign. Okay, whereas in the second one, you can see there are 3 panels. So parking sign, and then off gift 8 to 18 and 8 to 18 in a bracket form, and also there is a arrow that goes down. So in that arrow means that you have to end the parking in this arrow. So you cannot park beyond this arrow. So in the first one, you can start your parking from this arrow towards the left side, but second one, this is the end point of the parking. So okay, let's take the first one, the parking. That means you can park for 24 hours in maximum a day. But then here another one time you can park 1 hour at a time, but 10 to 14 it is free. There is no charge. But then what says? Parking of gift overik time. So all the other time after 10 to 14, then you have to pay a fees, and then there will be no 1 hour time limit. You can have more than 1 hour. But in another example, here in the second case, the parking is there then all the time from 8 to 18 in all weekdays you have to pay a fee. And what is this one then? This bracketed 8 to 18. And this is the sign which represents in the bracketed time, means that is with before Sundays and holidays. So this is the on Saturdays or any other previous day of the holiday. So is that clear? Okay, another thing you forgot, you have to like and subscribe if you want me to make more quality videos. This gives me really encouragement to make videos on confusing topics. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon with another interesting video. You could also suggest me if you are having difficulties with understanding any other topics related to driving test in Sweden or in Europe particularly. Thanks, and lycka till for all your driving test. Hej då, see you soon. Bye. Take care.